I'm Victoria Langdon, or Tori. I'm excited to share a brief but fascinating look at one of my favorite brain parts, the hippocampus. Which unfortunately, when I looked at the examples right before making this video, looks like it's everyone's favorite brain part, so I promise I'm not copying. This structure is not only essential for forming memories, but it also plays a huge role in how we navigate the world around us. So let's dive into this little, I don't know, I want to call it a worm. Everyone thinks it's a seahorse though. So what is the hippocampus? The hippocampus is nestled deep within the brain's temporal lobe and is part of the limbic system. Its name comes from the Greek word for seahorse. For seahorse, pretty fitting, given its shape. Its two primary functions are the formation and consolidation of new memories and our ability to orient ourselves and navigate through space. Without the hippocampus, we'd struggle to form new long-term memories and even get lost walking down familiar streets. This is what I'm laughing at. This is the least chaotic take I have so far. Usually he's on top of me. Alright, so the role. How it works. It's basically what scientists currently think is memory, but of course I feel like the brain is very difficult to study. When we talk about memory, the hippocampus is our brain's main archivist. It takes short-term memories and helps convert them into long-term ones. Think of it like a librarian filing new books. Without the hippocampus, those books or memories would never be organized or saved for future use. This is why individuals with damage to this area, like in the case of patient HM, were unable to form new memories after surgery. His story is one of the most famous in neuroscience, and it really highlights how crucial the structure is. Come on, buddy. Is your hippocampus working? Probably not. There's not many thoughts happening. Alright. So, some of the real-life examples I came up with was like spatial memory. So aside from memory, the hippocampus is also our internal GPS. It helps us build cognitive maps, mental representations of spaces around us. This allows us to remember where we parked our car, where we are in a grocery store. Studies have shown even that London taxi drivers, which I'll talk about on the next page, have a larger posterior hippocampus because they have to remember where they are. And it can also have a big impact on Alzheimer's disease, clearly, because Alzheimer's is, a continuous loss of memory over time. It can eventually affect short-term memory, but it's mostly a lot of long-term. I think it's me. When the hippocampus isn't functioning properly, the effects are significant, especially when it comes to memory and orientation. One of the most well-known and devastating conditions involving the hippocampus is Alzheimer's disease. According to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, this region is one of the first to suffer damage in Alzheimer's. That's why short-term memory loss is often an early sign of the disease. A major study by Jack and colleagues in 1999 used MRI scans to measure hippocampal volume in people with mild cognitive impairment. They found that smaller hippocampal size could predict who would later develop Alzheimer's, making it an important biomarker for early diagnosis and monitoring. Another pivotal piece of research comes from 1957, actually. I feel like this is when we did a lot of maybe ethically not okay science, but guess science. When Scoville and Milner published their groundbreaking study on patient HM who underwent surgery that removed parts of both hippocampi to treat epilepsy. After the surgery, HM could no longer form new long-term memories, which is a clear indication of the hippocampus's essential role in memory function. Finally, shrinking hippocampal volume has been linked to other mental health conditions like depression, PTSD, and even schizophrenia. These conditions suggest that the hippocampus isn't just about memory or navigation, it's also deeply tied to our emotional well-being and mental health. Why I chose this? Because I'm a registered nurse and I've witnessed firsthand how it can honestly destroy people's lives. Anyone I have with TBIs that affect that spot, people with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, late stage Parkinson's, and just older folks. Their hippocampus, it slowly shrinks and it's shown that they have, cognitive delays on these MRIs. And I work on a stroke unit, and all these people, they come in, thinking they're having a stroke, and it's just they're deteriorating. They're getting old. They don't know what's going on. So I feel like research on this, on my favorite brain part and memories, it's so important to who we are as people, which is why it will always be my favorite brain part. Here's my lovely references. Highly recommend. Look at the brain from top to bottom from McGill University. Love that website. It has helped me through everything.